Hello and welcome to Rathods IS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 6th November 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. And in this class, we are going to discuss around 7 articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. And mostly today's articles are based on your polity, which comes in the GS paper too. Okay, let us see the first article. Yeah, see this title, guys. State has no right to acquire every private property, asserts Supreme Court. So what is the keyword here? Keyword is right to acquire private property. Okay. So it is talking about right to private property, and it is talking about role of Supreme Court. This article is talking about role of Supreme Court. Okay, so let me tell you which are the dimensions that you have to focus. So actually, I think in your polity you have done with your fundamental rights. Yes or no? So in your fundamental rights, do we have this fundamental right to property? Right to property. Earlier it was a fundamental right, but it had been removed from this fundamental right and it kept under which article? Article 300A. So why this fundamental right to property had been removed from this fundamental right and now it is made as a constitutional right? Why? What is the reason? Yes, because of land reforms. Yes, this had been removed under fundamental right and had been kept under now constitutional right. Okay. So here, why now Supreme Court said that state don't have the power to acquire this private property. What is the reason? Can you guess at least? So what happened in 1991 in India? LPG reforms. So LPG stands for liberalization, privatization, globalization. That means we are making our policies liberal and we are encouraging this private people, right? So because of this LPG reforms, we came up from socialist towards capitalist economy, right? So now we have this capitalist economy where we are promoting private people. But if state is controlling this private property, can we ensure proper ensurement of this LPG reforms? No. Because of this, the Supreme Court gave a judgment that states have limited power to acquire private property. So this is the thing. This is the gist of this article. Okay, so recently we are seeing like lots of judgments which gave more power to that of states. So can you give me some examples of Supreme Court judgments where state power had been increased in taxing of industrial alcohol? Next, even in mining also state has increased power. So whenever you are writing any answer regarding role of Supreme Court in ensuring cooperative federalism, where there is increased rights for states, you can write those two examples which are recently in our news, and to substantiate and to write a balance counter regarding that, you can write this case also where Supreme Court is limiting state power in acquiring private property. Clear? Okay, now let us see this article in clear. Okay, Supreme Court in a 9-judge constitutional bench ruled that state cannot claim every private property as a resource for a common good. So it is limiting the power of the state to acquire private property. Okay, so based on economic ideology. So whenever we had the socialist kind of ideology, yes, the power is the state. State need to control the property. But now we are having this capitalist society where we are encouraging private people. So your state will be not having that power to claim every private property as a resource for the common good. So this is the thing which mainly said. It is very simple. So it is linking our present economy with polity. If you see some important key points that you have to remember is, now because of the Supreme Court judgment, we can understand that there is limitation of state power in ability to acquire private properties. And actually, because of this ruling or because of this judgment now, court wants to protect individual ownership against arbitrary state actions. It is very important word. So here, Supreme Court or judiciary wants to protect individual ownership against arbitrary state actions. And next one here is why this judgment given because of the shift of economic ideology in India. Earlier, before this 1991 reforms, we had socialist economy, but now we are having capitalist. So because of this, especially they want to focus on acceptance of liberal economic policies in this contemporary India. And if you see historical context, so earlier also there are many Supreme Court judgments which are on the same thing like who can own this private property. So earlier many Supreme Court judgments before this 1991 they gave in favor of state. That is government can control this private property. But now it had been changed. Okay. And next one here is constitutional vision of economic democracy. So what is this meaning of economic democracy? Economic democracy. Yeah, resources should be redistribution of wealth, right? So actually the framers of our constitution, they established this concept of economic democracy, but now because of changing of our governance, because of changing of our polity, yes, we need to focus on the proper governance along with the economic management. So for this, there is a need of balance of power between these three organs like legislative, executive, and as well as judiciary. Okay, so that is one important thing. That's it. Say this article, Supreme Court upholds UP Madrasa Act, state has regulatory powers. So what are these madrasas which are seen in use? Okay, Islam. Okay, minority education institutions. Okay, so what is the recent case of this UP's Madrasa Act? Okay, UP came up with a act where it wants to control education in this madrasas. So finally, Allahabad High Court gave the judgment, and finally, this case had been moved to Supreme Court. And now the Supreme Court gave the judgment. Yes, Supreme Court said, yes, this UP's Madrasa Act is good because it is the power of state to control education. So do you know under this Madrasa Act of 2004, so we have two types of education. So one is till 10th and one is higher education. Okay, till 10th and next one is higher education. So actually Supreme Court upheld that yes, till 10th it is the power of state to regulate this education of these madrasas. And here regarding this higher education, it comes under UGC. Okay, so that is a simple judgment which is given. So here you have to revise what is this UP's Madrasa Act of 2004. And here you have to see fundamental rights like, tell me articles guys, recently done in yesterday's class. Right to, I don't want that. I want about minority educations. Which article? Yes, Article 30. We have to revise about this Article 30 here and this UP Madrasa Act of 2004. So there is a high chance of getting question on this Article 30 in your prelims for sure. Because of series of cases regarding this minority education rights, and even there may be also question from your religious freedom, right to religious freedom. So which are the articles talks about this right to religious freedom, guys? 20? Yesterday only. Come on. Very good memory. Right to religious freedom. 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay. Okay, so this article is saying that Supreme Court partially upheld UP's Madrasa Education Board Act of 2004, and Supreme Court said that it is responsibility of state government to regulate education in this minority institutions because we have to maintain the standards of excellence. I think 15 to 20 days ago we discussed this topic, right? So when exactly we discussed? So go back to that article and see some important facts that we discussed there. Okay, so this article is saying that State's role in regulating Madrasa education, and it is the responsibility of state to ensure student to receive a competent education, because we have Article 21A. So what is this Article 21A? Right to education for age group 6 to 6 to 14 years. Okay, so here it is saying about, yes, we have this minority institutions and they can regulate the education, but that education should be on according to the provisions of Article 21A of our Indian Constitution. And actually there is some conflict with central authority also now, because whenever we are declaring certain parts of this act or unconstitutional, now court is highlighting that there is tension increasing between state and now central authority regarding regulation of higher education. So as I said, UGC will be controlling this higher education in our country, and as I said, below 10th which will be controlled by now state. And again there is conflict of center and as well as state now regarding the education of madrasas, regarding higher education, who will be taking care of that. Here state is saying that we will be taking care of till 10th class, but what about this fuzils, that is about higher education system. Again now there is a tussle which is going on, and now we need to have a proper boundary regarding this school education as well as higher education in this madrasas. And next one here is, yes, there is always an issue between this minority rights versus state interest. So this judgment which is saying that, yes, we need to have a delicate balance between right to minority and as well as this right to minority which is said in this Article 30, and even the state's interest in maintaining the education standards. So we need to have a broader educational objectives need to be achieved, because state is the responsible for education, because education comes under your state list. Education comes under concurrent list, right? Yeah. So education comes under concurrent list. So because of this, higher education comes under central, and here state is taking responsibility of school education. So again there is conflict or tussle which is going on. And next one here is, we need to have a comprehensive definition of education. So in education we have preschool, we have nursery to 7th class, that is primary, and we have secondary education, and after that we have PG, like that, everything which comes under this higher education. So actually we don't have a proper definition of education which comes under which part of education, because if you're going from one area to another area, this definition is changing on. And recently our government came up with this NEP 2020, that is National Education Policy, but it has not been effectively implemented in every state. Again there is one tussle which is going on regarding what exactly comes under this definition of education. So we need to have a proper definition, especially in this education also. Our constitution is giving a fundamental right for the minority institutions to establish their own standards for this education in them, right? So because of this, we need to have a proper nature of combining religious and as well as secular teachings. Especially in this madrasas, they will go for teaching of Quran. Okay. And next one is, we need to have a proper regulatory framework for this madrasas. So this ruling is saying that, yes, we have madrasa board, and this madrasa board can enact regulations, and they can preserve their minority character of madrasas. But even they have to focus on providing of standard education in this madrasas, so that we can enhance quality of education in these institutions. We have to impart even life skills for the students who are studying in this madrasas, not only just to get the secular teachings. Okay, so see this Madrasa Act, UP Madrasa Education Act of 2004. So this act which governs madrasas. So this act which governs education which is provided in this madrasas, and it includes religious teachings, and even they will include some elements of modern secular subjects through religious instructions. So actually, so this act which had been established, UP Board of Madrasa Education, and this board will combine the members of normally from Islam community or Muslim community, and these board people, they are responsible for preparing curriculum or conducting any examinations, etc. So here we are having two types of education, as I said. So Mulavi, it is nothing but equal to 10th class, and this one is Fazil, it is equivalent to master degree. Okay, so here you can get a question like Mulavi and Fazil is seen recently in news is related to. It is related to Madrasa education. Okay, say this article guys, Parliament winter session from November 25. Okay. Guys, preamble is done for you, right? What are the components of the preamble? What are the four important things? I'm not asking that. So what are the four important components? I'm not asking that. So first one is the source. That is the people of India. Later on, objectives. Next, date of adoption. That is the fourth one, right? So what is the date of adoption of this constitution? November 26th. So see the date here, November 25th. We are going to start our winter session of parliament. And do you know the specialty of this year? Yes, it is the 75th year of adoption of our constitution. So preamble will be very important for you guys. This year, for sure, 100% there will be question of preamble in your prelims. Okay, so here in this winter session, we are going to celebrate 75th anniversary of adoption of our constitution. So this is very, very important. Keep star mark. Especially in your polity notes, keep star mark for preamble this year and don't miss any angle of preamble. You may get any type of question from your preamble. Okay, so why it is in news? If you see the context, winter session of parliament will commence on 25th November and it will be continuous till 20th December 2024. And this year it is very special because we are going to celebrate 75th anniversary of our constitution adoption. Okay, on 26th November. It is also called as our Constitution Day. Okay, tell me about different sessions of our parliament. How many sessions, guys? Budget session, winter session, and one more session. Monsoon session. BMW, remember this car, no? BMW. BMW fast जाते नहीं. It will start in February. Fast जाते नहीं. You can remember like that. I used to remember like this only. So B is for budget session, M is for monsoon session, and W is for winter session. So which session is important according to you? All sessions are important. Okay, so tell me, is there any provision in our constitution talks about these sessions? Any article? Is there any article? Okay, so okay. So between two sessions, there should not be more than the gap of 6 months. Okay. And anything that do you know about these sessions? So any article it is talking about this or not? Recall the things. Yes, very good. Article 85 talks about something regarding the sessions. Okay, so just see about some facts regarding this. That's it. So there is no fixed parliamentary calendar in our country regarding these sessions. We have to start only on the 1st of this day or 15th of this day or 20th of this day. There is no parliamentary calendar at all. But Article 85 of Indian Constitution talks something about these sessions. So here there is a chance of getting question regarding Article 85. So which of the following provisions are said in this Article 85? And they will give you some things. So first important point in this Article 85 is President shall from time to time summon each session of the Parliament to meet at such time and place as he thinks fit. First important point in this Article 85 is President can summon this houses. And second important point is maximum gap should not be more than 6 months of time. So within 6 months we have to conduct the sessions. And third one here is Parliament should meet at least twice a year. And the fourth important point is President may from time to time prorogue the houses. Okay, so we have 3 sessions, as you all know. Budget session. What happens in this budget session? Which is the lengthiest session? Which is the lengthiest sessions in these three? Yes, budget session is the longest and it is one of the most important sessions of parliament. So what happens in this budget session? They will be discussing on budget. So what is about this budget? Uh, okay, annual financial statement is one part of this, but what is this budget is about? Okay, expenditure and revenue. Okay, so actually the primary important focus of this budget session is they're going for presentation, discussion, passing of our union budget. That is related to our revenue and as well as expenditure plans of the next 1 year. And normally this budget session starts on February 1st till May. And next one is monsoon session. So monsoon session, the name monsoon, it is related to our monsoon season. That is nothing but rainy season sessions. And they are focusing on especially legislative business, and they'll focus on the passage of important bills, discussions, and national issues or scrutiny of government policies, etc. Normally it starts from July to September. And winter session, it is a very short session of all these 3 sessions, and especially they will be prioritizing urgent matters and urgent bills only here, normally November to December. Okay, see this article. Rising STEM research demands revitalized education. What does the STEM is about? STEM. Science, technology, E for English, or engineering? Engineering, mathematics. So this STEM comes under which education? Primary or secondary or higher? Yes, higher education. So why this STEM is important? STEM, it is focusing on research and development. Okay, so this article is saying something important regarding our problems of higher education in our country. So higher education institutions in India, they face a crisis as many graduates, they lack skills which are demanded by our industries. So it is one important reason why there is increasing of unemployment in India. So many people, they are completing their graduation, they are getting degrees from their colleges, they are doing PGs, PhDs, but if they are going outside to get any job, so because of lack of skills, they are not getting proper employment opportunities. So there is lack of skills demanded by the industries. If you see engineering college, how many are there in our, at least in Telangana? So many. So number. You have to know at least your state. In Karnataka, how many engineering colleges are there? Huh? I won't correct number. AP guys. AP. Huh? So actually, there is growing of private engineering colleges, and even there is increasing of IITs also. Newer IITs are coming up, and even there is increasing of medical colleges also, especially in Telangana. So what is happening here is there is increasing of faculty pressure to prioritize research over teaching. So nowadays, because of this increasing of STEM, that is focusing on especially research and development, so now faculties are getting more pressurized to focus on research rather than teaching. So without teaching the basic concepts, can they focus on research and development, especially students? If they are not knowing the basic concepts, if we are taking them to lab and ask them to do something, so whether what they'll do there. So it is one important problem that we are having. There is increasing of faculty pressures to prioritize research over teaching. So this resulting in the qualified students for higher education essential sectors. So actually, because of this, what happens in the students, you are not getting the basic conceptual clarity, but always their mind is focusing on research and development. So because of this, what happened? There is decreasing of quality of teaching in higher education. And again, it is one of the important problem that we are facing in our higher education institutions. So here this article is saying that we need to have the proper metrics for the proper collaboration between the teaching and as well as research institutions. Okay, so this article is saying that there is lack of necessary skills for the workforce. That is into disconnection between education and industry needs. So whenever the people, they are not getting the proper skills which is required for the industries, will they get proper employment? No. Because of no proper employment, there is a risk for our economic growth and as well as innovation of our country. And next one is research versus pedagogy. So actually now currently we are increasing our pressure, or we are keeping more priority for the research over teaching quality in education institutions. That leads to the cycle of poor education. So faculty may prioritize only publishing of the things that they are doing with the help of the students, but they are not at all focusing on teaching the things to the students. So because of this, overall student performance is diminishing day by day in our higher education. And next one here is, we are not providing even quality education as well. So especially some premier institutes like IITs, they attract top students, and out of this 95% of the graduates, they come from the institutions with variable teaching quality, which indicates systemic issues that are affecting the education pipeline. Only in top premier institutions only we are getting like proper educational services, but not all. So this is also one cause of concern now. And next important point here is, we need to come up with assessment metrics. So whenever we are coming up with proper assessment, proper evaluation, proper monitoring, then only we can reveal the we can revive the pressure, or we can decrease the pressure on this faculty, and we can obviously improve our student outcomes. So collaboration is very important between the research and as well as teaching institutions, so that we can improve the quality of study, and as well as we can improve our research output, and also we can ensure robust ecosystem of our education. Okay, so that is a thing. And say this article, Aadhaar biometric data assess will aid forensics. What is this Aadhaar biometric data? So what are the biometric data that is collected under Aadhaar? Fingerprints. Next, iris. Okay, only these two. Face. Next. So how many of you seen dead bodies across the roadside? Dead bodies. Have you? Okay. So to solve those cases, what exactly we required? Okay, so what are the data which is collected under this Aadhaar, whether it is like your personal data or like normal data? It comes under personal data. Okay, sharing of personal data which will be affecting your right to privacy or not? Right to privacy is a fundamental right, under which case? KS Puttaswamy case of 2017. So actually the problem here is, there is no proper revealing of Aadhaar biometric data. So because of this, now it is very difficult to solve cases, especially abandoned dead bodies on the roadside. So this is the article. So especially to solve those cases, this Aadhaar biometric data need to be given to the proper law enforcement agencies to solve these cases. Clear? Is that right? To share this Aadhaar biometric data with this law enforcement agencies according to you? Huh? So tell me. Yes, government agencies. They are government agencies. According to you, whether it is right or wrong to give this data? In some cases it is right, in some cases it is wrong. In which cases it is right? Only for dead body recognition is right. What about other cases which is not right? In which cases it is not right? Huh? Majority of the persons. I want exactly, guys. Think. And today I will be giving you the main question on this, and it will be critical analyze. Ah, you have to think. If you are in this part of law enforcement agency, think that you are an IPS officer, and in your area there are 2 to 3 dead bodies you find, and you have to solve that case, or like any criminal case you have to deal with. You're not getting any clue of solving that. Even you're not having any biometric data, then how you'll be solving this case? Huh? What? how can you deliver justice? How can you provide service delivery then? Why we have to teach everything in the ethics class? Accountability, transparency, so and so. Why? Then think whether it is right or wrong. It is very sensitive article. You need to have your own perspective, guys. If yes, why yes? If no, why no? Be specific. Okay, I'm moving on. So this article is saying that access to Aadhaar biometric data could significantly helps foreign investigations, especially in identifying unknown bodies. So don't you watch movies like criminal movies, investigation movies? You will be getting lots of dead bodies, and even some dead bodies you can find in dumping sites with no head, with no hands, only torso. Then how can you identify and how can you chase that case? You should be very brave enough, right? I'm not asking about movie, I'm asking about your life in future. If you are getting this IPS or if you are getting any crime branch, okay? So while the Aadhaar Act protects this biometric data to uphold privacy rights, and even they are providing some restrictions which is posing challenges for law enforcement agencies in the cases involving unidentified individuals. So especially who will be there, like roadside bodies, roadside dead bodies, whether they belongs to rich, they always belong to socio-economically disadvantaged vulnerable groups. So if you want to chase those kind of cases, obviously you need this biometric data like fingerprints or like facial recognition or like any iris scan. Then only you can identify at least the name of that person or address of that person you will be getting in that Aadhaar data. And you can, it is easy to yes, it is easy to solve those cases. So here this article is saying that we have to rethink about these regulations so that we can enable better identification process and we can enhance dignity with which deceased person are treated. So we have this article 21 which talks about right to life and personal liberty. So it is a fundamental right, each and everyone has this right, and during death also they have to have the dignity during the death. If the people they are dying roadside, if no one is taking care of even their dead bodies, their 21 article is getting violated, right? So because of this article is saying that we have to enable proper identification process to ensure dignity of people even after death. So if you see the key points that you have to remember, the first one is privacy versus forensics. So Aadhaar Act protection of biometric data which serves to uphold individual privacy rights. But in forensic, yes, protection may hinder vital investigations that could bring closure to the families of unidentified deceased individuals. So this will be helpful, especially to solve this case, and even we can ensure if there is any deceased person who come to any hospital or if there is any deceased person who is staying on the roadside. So if you are using this biometrics of this Aadhaar, we can identify the state to which he belongs and we can try to make that person to go to his home. Especially there are mentally retarded people or mentally challenged people who will be roaming on the road here and there. So they belongs to normally very low socio-economic vulnerable backgrounds. So this data will be very helpful for chasing those kind of cases. And next one is economic vulnerability. So unidentified bodies, they often belongs to economically disadvantaged groups. So they don't have proper social support system as well. And the systemic issues, what are the issues that we are having here is even that is preventing the filing of missing person reports for these individuals. So actually one tragedy in our system is, so people don't know like how to file the case if there is any person is missing. So because of this, many people they are missing, but there is no case had been filed. And if you identify any person who had been missed from the family, if you see the records in the police station, there is no missing complaint filed. So here, because of this, we need to take urgent attention, and especially we have to simplify the process of filing of missing complaints. And next one here is there are also some current limitations on fingerprint databases which leads to hindering of timely investigations. So many police records, they remain undigitalized. For example, if a person who belongs to state 1 but he missed from that state and he entered into, for example, state 2 or state 3, so if these police stations, if those records have not been digitalized, so can we have the access to the missing reports of state 1 in the state 2? No. So this is the one important problem we are having. Because of this, it is creating inefficiency in matching fingerprints from these unidentified bodies. And even we need to have a proper improved data management with law enforcement agencies. And now we can use some technology as well. How the other countries, especially developed countries like USA, Japan, North Korea, and South Korea, they are using this digitalization or technology. In the same way, we can also get the similar kinds of methods for the proper investigation purpose. And see, and I want to give you this homework. So do this homework after this class. Homework is how USA is using technology to to deal with these crimes, or like Japan and China. So what are the technologies in these countries they are using? So do this work and after this class. And next one is we need to have the strict prohibition of sharing of biometric information that may lead to legal challenges in solving of cases. So we need identification of these things. It is very much critical now. So we have to go for examination of our legal frameworks so that we can adapt to our evolving needs of foreign science now. And even we need to have a proper humane treatment of unidentified bodies. So if you say unidentified bodies, so don't treat them in human manner, because they also have the right to life and dignity even after death. So here we have to especially respect and we have to show dignity towards them. And now the policy makers, they need to consider this cultural implications of body identification, and we have to treat these deceased individuals with dignity even after death. So these are the things which mainly said in this article. Okay, see this article. Finance Ministry asked banks to focus on cyber security, accelerate lending to agriculture and MSME. So here this article is talking about giving more funds to agriculture and MSME, which comes under which sector? Priority sector lending. So how much percentage should be given to agriculture under this PSL? Total PSL, how much percent? Very good. Economy went to space. Next, priority. What is this priority sector lending? Tell me. Okay, tell me which are the sectors given priority under this priority sector lending? Agriculture. Only apart from agriculture. Apart from MSME, these are there here. Agriculture and MSME. Apart from this. Tell me the list, guys. Very good. Sujna. Monica, you have done with economy. Tell me economy. List of money. Okay, revise about this priority sector lending. I will be giving you quiz question on that topic. Quiz question. Everyday quiz is there? No. Okay, so why this banks need to provide this lending for this agriculture and MSME? Why? What about MSME then? What are the problems faced by MSMEs? Lack of funds. Apart from that, you are very intelligent. I know. Tell me. Okay, see this article once after this class. And how many of you writing quiz every day? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Just I'm giving 5 questions only, no? So I'm not at all deviating. I'm taking directly questions from the articles only. So try to write quiz. It will be not taking more than 5 to 10 minutes. Just for fun. Attempt for fun. It is not, yeah, only 5 minutes, right? So just see like how far you remember those articles. Okay, so that's all guys. So these were the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And please do like this class if you like this session, and do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy.